This is a quick introduction to defining a causal graph for use in causaDB. One of the things that you can choose to do is use our model builder helper tool, which allows you to drag and drop nodes representing your variables and edges, arrows between them, to define a structure of your model. And then it gives you the code which you can then copy and paste for training and querying. If I just click on the screen, it will create a new node. If I double click that, I can name it the same as one of my variables that I want to include, which I've done here. Now what I can do is add an edge, this arrow, between two variables. What I'm saying here is that I want causaDB to be allowed to learn a relationship between outdoor temperature and indoor temperature in this direction. So how outdoor temperature causes indoor temperature, but not the other way around. Also, the outdoor temperature can change what the heating setting was. The indoor temperature can change that. The indoor temperature, of course, can change what the energy usage is, and the heating setting will change the energy usage too. So the causal graph looks, just by common sense, a little something like this. So you can get a really long way by creating these graphs with just common sense alone, and that will often get you much better results than standard AI. One thing to know is that you can't have loops. These are called non-cyclic. So for example, if we have three variables like this, and this one causes this one, and this one causes this one over here now cannot come back and cause this one because there's a loop that goes around. Now the reason that that's the case is that when this happens, it must be a time series model. And if you have a time series model, then you can have a time variant variable. Go back to documentation where we talk about this. So now if we go to the documentation, you can see here that we create a model and we set the nodes. And this is exactly the code here that you would get from the causal model builder, but you can choose to set it yourself. So here we set what the nodes are, and these have to represent variables in our data. And then we set the edges. And so here we have the outdoor temperature can affect the heating. The outdoor temperature can affect the indoor temperature. The heating setting can affect the indoor temperature, and so on. So that's how this maps on to the full graph. You can then visualize this by using this command, plot causal graph. And you get something like this, where the nodes are now these circles and the edges are these arrows between, defined by this. And now you're ready to go and train the model.